Hi everyone, Nicole Hansen here with the Youth Horticulture Education Program with the University of Nevada Extension, and today we're here at the Master Gardener Orchard to talk stone fruits. Let's go inside. What we're looking at here are peach trees. As you can see, they do quite well in the desert. They do have some heat stress, which is to be expected, but peaches grow quite well here in the desert. Let's see if we can find a tree with some peaches on it. Here we go. All right, here's a peach tree with a lot of peaches on it. Let's see what kind it is. Looks like it's a fair time peach. So these peaches seem a little smaller. Okay, but they are almost ripe now. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? So this is a prime example of a stone fruit, a peach. Here's another Fairlane peach. And over here, you can see the difference in the leaves, is an apricot. Now, apricots are ripe in very early summer, so they don't have any fruit on their trees right now. So you can absolutely grow nectarines, peaches, plums, and apricots here in the desert. Stone fruits are things like plums, peaches, apricots, and nectarines. Any of the combination of the two, apricot, pluot, those are all stone fruits. So let's take a look at the stone fruit orchard here at the Master Gardener Orchard. All fruit trees in the desert require maintenance, but this is particularly true of stone fruit trees. So they do require proper pruning, fertilization, soil sulfur to combat our high pH, and protection from sunburn. Just as you get sunburned here in the desert, so can our trees. You can see here that this juvenile peach tree, its trunk has been painted. So this is an outdoor latex paint, 50-50 with water, and it doesn't matter what color it is as long as it's a light color, and you paint it on the trunk and any stem bigger than your pinky finger, okay? This will act as sun protection so the bark does not get sunburned. If sunburn of the bark occurs, then it is a damaged tree, and it will put off chemicals saying that it is a damaged tree. What will happen is borers will come and they will attack that tree. They seem to only attack trees that are in ill health, and they bore in and they can destroy your tree. They can be localized, so you can cut off a portion of the tree, a branch, or something like that to get rid of them, but the best thing to do is prevention. Pruning is important for fruit trees because you don't want the trees to get so big that you can't reach the fruit anymore. So the best thing to do when you prune your stone fruit trees is to prune them low and wide. You don't want it any taller than you can reach. So if it means you're going to have to get up there with a ladder or a special tool to pick fruit, it means your tree is too tall. So you can see these are all pretty low and wide. These are some pretty old trees in here, and that way you get a nice fruit harvest that you can actually reach. It's also important to keep your center clear in fruit trees. This allows for the sun to penetrate the canopy, as you can see it's doing here on this apricot, and it allows airflow throughout the tree. So this just makes for healthy fruit. It limits disease and pests if you can prune it this way. So again, you just want to make sure you have plenty of space in that middle area for sun and airflow. Another thing that's very important with stone fruit is fertilization. Twice a year, early spring and late fall, give them some fertilizer, either compost or a specific tree fruit fertilizer. Also give them some soil sulfur. Our pH in our soil and in our water is very high. It can run between 8 and 9, which is very, very high. And most plants like their pH between, say, 6 and 7. So we're pretty high. So you want to put some soil sulfur into the soil when you fertilize to combat that high pH. Now let's talk pests. There are plenty of pests for stone fruits here in the valley. Borers is the biggest one. They can absolutely destroy your tree. So if you have a really healthy tree, make sure you put that paint on the bark to save it from sunburn and save it from the borers. Also, though, probably the biggest pests of stone fruits here in the valley are birds and rats. So to protect your harvest and protect your fruits, you can do a couple of different things. You can cover the entire tree in netting. That can be a little dangerous for birds and lizards because they can get caught in the net. Or you can get organza bags and cover your fruits with organza bags to protect them. Now, a really determined rat can absolutely get through an organza bag, but it does deter them. It gives them a reason to find something else to eat, so that's a plus. Birds have the uncanny ability to know exactly when something's ripe, and that's when they choose to eat it. So it's going to be a foot and feather race between who gets your fruit, you or the birds. Stone fruits can be grown in an orchard, like here, if you have space, or they can also be grown in large pots. So if you don't have a lot of space to plant a tree in your yard, you can get the dwarf versions of any stone fruit and plant them in a large pot with mulch and proper fertilizing and watering, and you'll get this. There's nothing better than a nice peach on a hot summer day. So get out there and grow your own stone fruits so you can have this wonderful snack too.